over time. So he saw that they have this developmental cycle. As children grow up and get older and then move out and people die and are born and so on. He said, every family in its different phase is a completely distinct labor machine as regards the labor force in the family and the ratio of workers to consumers. So that's one thing. And the second thing is that agrarian households are the location of these intergenerational transfers that I was talking about. And this was also recognized by Eric Wolf in his wonderful book on peasants 50 years ago. Each replacement of the older generation by a member of the new calls into question the existence of the peasant household. Of special importance are the rules governing inheritance, which regulate the passage of resources and their control from the old to the young. So he's put his finger also on the thing which we need to talk about. I will give some examples with the next. This is in Kulon Progo, which is a district to the west of Yogyakarta in the middle of Java. In 1973, I did some detailed studies of peasant households. So here's one of them here on the left. And in 1999, I went back to the same village and I tried to find a child from that household who had grown up and got married and had children, and I did the same sort of study again. So here you see 1973 and 1999. So here's a household that has more or less replicated itself completely within a generation. So this person is not this guy, it's this one. So he has become the father of the household, and now here were a boy and two girls, and he's got 3 boys. Yes. So that's almost exact replication over time. But if you look at the next one, here's a man with 2 wives and some children. And a generation later, what's happened? He is still there. Children are all gone. This is one of his grandchildren. And this is what you see. Almost every rural household in China now is like this. It's what in China they call a hollowed out household. So the middle generation is all in the cities, and they dump their children with the grandparents, which actually for children is not always such a bad thing. So a hollowed out household. But in terms of running a farm, this guy is getting a bit old, and his wife, and she is no doubt not at all interested in that. So not much hope there, perhaps. And the next one. This man had an enormous labor machine. So he had 2 wives and 7 children. And the oldest 4 are still in school. This is the youngest one. You can see he's wearing this primary school uniform. But he's already able to help. Look at what he's doing. So he's looking after this second youngest child, which frees an adult to do something else. It's one of the very important kinds of work that children will do, is looking after younger children or doing other housework so that the adults can go off to the fields or earn some money in the market or whatever. Now, a generation later, so that's this one, and his mother is this lady. She's still there, still surviving, and his wife, and one child. So completely, it's the same household in the next generation, but completely different. So that's what I'm talking about. So what have we just been looking at, actually? We've been looking at the different ways in which rural households reproduce themselves over time. And that's why this concept of social reproduction is a very key concept for us to use to be able to understand and analyze this process, also to understand how and when and why it often fails or gets into crisis. And you can use this concept to talk about the day-to-day reproduction, the division of labor that ensures that the household gets itself fed and gets some income from day to day, that children are looked after, and so on and so on. Seasonally, there's very important for farm households or over generations. And you can look at it at the household level, or you can look at how a whole agrarian community reproduces itself and in that process changes over time. So the worries that people have that we're talking about regeneration, are worries that this process is not going to work, or it's going in the wrong direction, more or less. Okay, now we shift quickly to youth studies. Youth as generation, we'll come back to it, but it means we define youth not actually by how old you are, or whatever, but what sort of relationship do you have with those who are not youth? Yes, I see a question coming up. Yes.
Can you explain this, the youth defined as a relationship? I mean,
yes. We know this about gender, that if you want to understand gender, you don't just study women. Gender is about the relationship of those defined as masculine and feminine, and what society does in different ways in different societies about roles and relationships between the two. Now, the concept of generation is the same, because it tells, if we look at youth, in terms of what sort of behavior is expected of them by non-youth, what sort of relationship do they have with non-youth, and that's why we use this concept of generation. So it's kind of an equivalent of gender. Am I not getting clear? I'll try again later. Youth is identity, very important. Becoming is about what we would like, the kind of identity we would like youth to have. Becoming is the kind of identity that youth themselves would like to have. And there are very big differences between the two, as you will know if you have children.
So is it defined as how energetic a person behaves, and then how it is defined as?
We'll come to it. Youth as gender, youth as class. When I said you have rich youth, poor youth, we use this concept, which is also used in gender sense of intersectionality. That actually, we don't need the word because it just means cross-cutting. So it's like any person in society is placed in a system of cross-cutting relationships and hierarchies, to do with social class, to do with age, gender. Sometimes ethnicity is important, or whatever. Youth as actors is very important, but we shouldn't go overboard in our enthusiasm saying youth are actors, they will change the world and everything's fine, because they are actors within structures which constrain the way they can behave and limit their room for maneuver. And part of what we should be doing is trying to help young people increase their room for maneuver by hammering at the walls of these structures. And that means that youth studies and working with youth becomes a highly political project. And this is something which also for many donors is hard to understand. Also, young people as, or potentially as key innovators, socially, politically, in agriculture, and in lifestyle. It's obvious when you think about it, where does changing language come from? New words and ways of talking about things are not invented by young people, by old people, people like me. Where do new fashions of dress, tattooing, and putting a paper clip in your nose or a razor blade in your ear? You know, it's not people of our age who think up these new ways. It's the young. And in social life, it's obvious. Okay. Going on. Defining youth, but going back one piece. Yes. Now, of course, some agencies, and for some agencies, you have to define youth by age. The law doesn't have another way to define youth. It has to define childhood and youth by age. UN agencies, statistical bureaus, is the same. So in statistics, it's often 15 to 24. UN is also very confused and not helpful, as you see, because if you are 15, 16, or 17, according to the Convention on Rights of the Child, you are a child. But according to their discussion and analysis about youth, you're also a youth. So you're a child and a youth at the same time. I don't know, I've not met a 17-year-old person who would like to be called a child. I don't think so. They don't define themselves in that way. Another way is the way in which the law defines youth, and usually they try to use some sort of the markers of the points of transition to adulthood. So, the point at which you no longer are required to attend school, that's one transition. The point at which you are allowed to take paid employment. The point at which you are allowed to marry. The point at which you are allowed to vote when you are considered politically mature. So all these markers of transition to maturity, which are also defined very differently in different countries. If you consider at what age in places that you know about are young people considered responsible for their own actions. So if they kill somebody, they can be taken to court and punished for it. Allowed to leave school, to work, to marry, to go. Let's take a look on the next one. I just took some countries, and the numbers in red are the low and high extremes. So you see how youth is defined. In the UK, they seem to think it stops at 19. In Malaysia, youth stops at 40. 35 in Tanzania. Indonesia, 30. It also starts at different ages, 12 in Mexico, 18 in Bolivia. The age at which you can be taken to court and punished for having done something wrong is very different. If you are planning to steal a car or to murder somebody, I would suggest you go to Bolivia. But certainly not to Indonesia or India. This is not based on the fact that children in Bolivia are different from children. It's something which